So like the video says, we are video 100. And I thought I'd do a quick little thing, but you can meet a few of the characters or avatars that I use, starting with the one who started it all, which this is the original Jack, a ghostly model. He needs an update because you can see the tail is absolutely freaking out. We tried to bend it to make it, a curl like a husky tail. Well, obviously it needs an update because its bones are completely messed up. This model is 4 years old now. Colors don't match right. He's a little bit dark. So yeah, he needs an update, but this is the original done by someone I used to know named Callie. But there are new versions of him and or other versions as well. A slightly updated version of Jack. He now has my salvage yard shirt, which I believe is right there. So the salvage yard, as well as there is a thing on the back, which looks really, really cool. I love it. He also has a tail that doesn't freak out, so this one has a little bit newer tail. I also have another shirt for him. I just don't have that one uploaded, so eventually we'll get it to where I can change between all the different shirts that he has at the moment for the canine, as well as even my Papa Jen, who has a really cool looking Jackie Chan shirt. So it's just one more of the Jacks, and there are a lot of them. I'm only going to show you one or two. I'm not going to show you all of them because that'll probably be a separate video eventually. In case I didn't mention it, on the last version there is actually a tattoo that a friend of mine known as RB did. This shows up on a few of the newer models, like this one, my Daddy Jen, which is not Ghostly's Papa Jen. This is the modified Mama Jen. And the shirt done by a good friend of mine known as Lion. So eventually this shirt, along with the others, will be made to where I can switch back and forth. He still needs a bit of work with his armor and the bodysuit because there's clipping. And I think there's actually some spots in his back. Yeah, you can see his back clips a little bit. So we need to do a little bit of tweaking. Plus, he has a different tail. If I remember correctly, I believe that tail is the one from, I think, the felines. This one's pretty good. The original texture work was done by a friend of mine named Polly. Needs a little bit of an update because he's kind of greenish instead of the cream, but still, I've used this guy a lot. He shows up a lot. I like this model a lot. Better than the Ghostly Papa Jen, actually. That thing's not that great. I have one that was modified. You'll see that when I do a Jack highlight video at some point. But let's show you who Jack's sister is. As this is my main OC, we can show you who the female OC is that I have. Check her out. My pride and joy. So now you get to see my female OC. This is Jacqueline. And like the original Jack, she needs some work because, well, the fizz bones are a little bit messed up. They're not supposed to move that freely. She does have a different tail. So she has the curl tail, which is beautiful. I love it. It's cute. I can't show you her signature pink spots that she has on her butt for obvious reasons. The one thing I do love, though, is my friend Libra made these emerald green heart eyes that shows up on pretty much every version of her that I have, or similar. One version that Libra did, she has a little heart on her tummy that I thought was kind of cute. Some show up with the heart, some don't. This one, her snoot is actually not correct. There are other versions of her that I will show you that do have the correct snoot. You probably wonder what's different. Well, there's technically white there, but I'm not super worried about that. But this is the original Jacqueline. If you know her full name, you're lucky. If you don't, you'll have to keep watching. I might say it, I might not. But this is the original canine. Color texture work is something I did. It was only a quick transfer of colors. Now the clothing, though, the clothing was done by my friend known as Libra. Libra's done a lot of things for me. Libra, if you ever watch this, I love your work. I don't know if Libra watches my YouTube or not. Anyway, I want to show you one or two other versions of her. And we'll move on to, eventually, Dottie. Alright, so Mama Jen Jacqueline probably has to be one of my favorite versions of her, I think. Because Mama Jen, mommy vibes. And here's the little heart that's telling you about that. Shows up on some models, but not all of them. And if I remember correctly, the armor, I think, was done by Libra or Polly. I can't remember which at the moment. This is one of Polly's edits because her one ear is down, which I thought was kind of cute. She does have, big tail, and those are the spots I'm talking about. So those spots are on all versions of her. Of course, she has the beautiful emerald green eyes. This one has other clothing. I'm not going to show that off here. Eventually, that'll be done in a Jacqueline video. She also doesn't have the proper snoot, but I'm going to show you a version of her that does have the proper snoot, which is one of my cats, I believe. So I'll go check her out here in just a second. So like I was saying about her snoot, as you can see how she has a little bit of the white right there, then goes into her blue, and then like the dark red. Her eyes are a little bit different than the can of the Mama Jen, because she doesn't have the full customized, but they're still the emerald green. And the little blue tips is something I started to kind of mess around with because this is one that I did. I think the clothing is very basic. There's nothing special about it. But as you can see with the way her tail moves, it whips around a little bit too much, and physics are still a little bit wonky. This is an older model. She'll be getting updated eventually. And of course, you'll also get to see more versions of Jacqueline when I do the actual Jacqueline video, because there's going to be videos dedicated to each one of the characters. And there's some of them have a lot, especially my Lunas. We're not going to talk about that. But this is Jacqueline as a kitty cat. And yes, she does have the spots. You just can't see them because the pants. And obviously, for reasons of YouTube, I can't show you. When you have, an avatar and you don't really plan to do anything with it, like the Dalmatian that I've had for a long time, started out with her just standard upload. She had nothing done to her. Basic. Literally just uploaded directly in, nothing done to her. And I was like, let's do something with her. So a friend of mine created the clothing for her. So, firefighter. I was like, that's kind of cool. And eventually we got some axes, which I need to redo the axes eventually. She has axes now. Dottie has evolved over, I think, like 4 or 5 times. At one point, she had no visible marks on her. She ended up getting some flame tattoos that are long gone because they were kind of She's slowly been getting, as you can see, some of the scarring on her chest, on her leg. She's got more tattoos over time as well. There's also a new version of her that we're working on, which is her heavy rescue equipment. Sadly, that's not done yet. My buddy, good friend known as Libra again, has done all the body work on her, which I have to thank him immensely because the man is amazing what he does. Her axes are going to get a redo so that way I can have them on her back or I can hold on to them. She also has a flashlight too to see in dark areas. This character became a decent favorite among some of my followers, I guess you could say. And she just continues to grow as a way to say thank you and represent the firefighters, all the hardworking men and women in the fire force. Speaking of Fire Force, if you know about that anime, there is a version of the Dalmatian that I'm working on for Fire Force. But that's a different video. Let's look at 1 or 2 other versions of Dottie that I do have. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Mama Jins are amazing. And my friend Pup decided why not turn Dottie into a Mama Jin. So the armor was done by Pup, the body texture was done by Pup, which also, the beans, I think Pup Custom did these. Now the beans on my Dalmatian, the original Ghostly Dalmatian, did not have spotted beans on the female, only the male had them. So someone I used to call a friend modified the beans on the old female, which was amazing because you got to have spotted beans. But yeah, this is the Dalmatian Jin that we created. There's actually a male version as well that's also done by my friend Pup. But this is one version of her. I'm going to show you one other one, which is her kitty cat form. I don't know who else I'll show you after that. We might not do too much more because this video is probably going to get too long, knowing me. I don't remember who worked on the body anymore. I actually forget. I know the clothing is done by my good friend Libra. So we have her little shield on here. A lot of them always have the shield somewhere. As well as this one, she does have a single axe. The canine has dual axes. The feline, she has a single axe. The Mama Jin has no equipment yet. So I really need to fix that. And then we get the heavy rescue canine unit going. That one's going to be wicked. Eventually, whenever she is done, but I have to work with my friends, both known as Libra and Mega, which there's a new model coming out that we're working on as well, which is also a cat, but I'm not going to tell you about her here. So hopefully you like these ones. I might show you 1 or 2 that I have worked on, just as a little bonus, all right? All right, so, quick question. What is your thoughts on Neapolitan ice cream? The one where it's like a vanilla, a chocolate, a strawberry, whatever it is, however that works. So I thought, why not make an ice cream themed canine? So I did all the color work on this except for the eyes. The eyes were done by my good friend Libra, because, Libra's amazing. The clothing was just something I kind of threw together, so it's like a chocolate strawberry. I love how her tail looks, though, because you got the strawberry, the vanilla, and then the chocolate, which is awesome. These are supposed to be like sprinkles on her chest. I'm going to redo those eventually and try and find like a waffle cone for her top. Maybe. And then, a little cherry in the belly button there because, I'm being funny. As well as her fur or mane, whatever you want to call that, is also the 3 main colors. And then you see the coloring throughout her body as well. She's still a work in progress technically, as well as the next one I want to show you, which will probably be the end of this video because I have no idea how long this is and I don't want it to be too long, obviously. Someone's probably going to give me grief for this, but I'm curious if you're ready for a fun time. So I thought about why not try and make my own version of Funtime Foxy. So pretty much everything on her is done by me except for the clothing. The clothing my friend Lion did, because I didn't know what to put on that for a while. So Lion did me some clothing, because I'm still working on the body, and I've been working on this one for a while off and on. So as you can see, I've been trying to outline like the panels and stuff. She has the panels on her legs and the joints and stuff, so there's a lot of work there I got to do. I want to redo the speakers so this looks a little bit better. The lipstick thing, that took a while to get to look halfway decent. This one is definitely work in progress. This is the second upload I've done because it originally started as someone else's texture, actually. It looked a little bit like Funtime. I don't remember what her name is anymore. Video's playing there. Don't remember what her name is anymore, but doesn't matter. We're not friends, sadly. But So I took a texture they didn't want and turned it into this, slowly. Still working on it, though. There are a bunch of other things I've worked on, which I might make a video of stuff that I've worked on for my friends and things. That'll be a separate video. But hopefully you'll enjoy this little one. I have no idea how long this is. Hopefully it's not too long and you don't get bored listening to my dumb butt rambling. But if you liked it, do all those things, and I greatly appreciate it. As my nose decides to give me problems. Love that. Till then, my friends, hopefully you enjoy yourselves. Hopefully you watched the 100th video on the YouTube, which is amazing. Also, if you made it to the end, I want to say thank you so much for an amazing year. There will be a few more videos coming out, but I think, are at 76, 77 subscribers, which is pretty amazing. Especially seeing that every so often I kind of forget about the YouTube channel and, forget to post things on here. But I want to say thank you all so much. Thank you to all those subscribers. Thank you for the support. Don't forget to check me out in any of these other, it's over here, all these other areas that you can follow me as well. Till then, my friends, stay amazing, stay safe, and stay floofy. Bye-bye.